Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking, and I'm here today to speak about Mercury in Leo. So, after a little bit of a depressive Cancer, Mercury is not necessarily the greatest in the sign of Cancer. Now he's going to get a little bit charged up and entering the sign of Leo. So let's just break that down for a second, what actually Mercury means, what Leo means, and then let's try to put them together. So Mercury is not only related to communication and the communication style, however, something it's to do with your mental temperament as well. Actually, Mercury was used in the traditional astrology to calculate the temperament. Now we only use the moon and the ascendant and the sun sign and the overall elements, the elemental breakdown of the planets. So, but Mercury was also the part of that. The reason why is because Mercury plays a very significant role in psychology. So the way you think, the way you communicate, speak about your feelings is very psychological. And Mercury is all about the thought process. So if we want to kind of change our behavior, Mercury is going to be playing an extremely important role in there. But Mercury is the mercant, anything which goes back and forth. So something to do with sport activities, for instance, because let's say in the basketball, you run towards one point and then after you go back and then defend yourself, not to get a goal, right? So Mercury is something to do with highways, any type of busy areas. So something to do with the center of the town where plenty of people turn around. Actually, the highways, as I said, because Mercury always goes from one point to another. At the end of the day, he was the messenger of the gods. So he had to be changing locations continuously. But also it is associated with technology. So before Uranus was discovered, Mercury ruled any of these technological communicational devices, right? So the phone was discovered quite a long time ago when Uranus wasn't even discovered at that time yet. So Mercury is passing the information on to others. But also Mercury, how we relate or translate the meaning of things. So plenty of teachers, writers, journalists have got a very prominent Mercury. But also Mercury could talk about what kind of unique skills you have to specialize in if you want to be successful. And going forward, we're going to still be looking at Mercury's general meaning, but we're going to kind of combine that with the Leo energy. So Leo is actually a fire sign, fixed energy. It's more on the masculine side. So it represents the yang energies. And he is basically the temple of the sun. So meaning that he rules, this sign is ruled by the sun. And it is found in the constellation of the Lion. Now, let's start thinking about it that Leo is actually the middle of the summer, right? So we had the longest day around the 20th, 21st of June, right? And then since then, the light is decreasing. So the days become shorter and shorter. So what it really represents is, from a traditional perspective, that Leo is a very youthful energy. But it kind of reminds us that the youth is declining. So Leo kind of brings in an element of a death and a change into our life when we're going to kind of become more serious. So this is the time when we should be having fun, but the next sign is going to be Virgo, where we have to be working, where we kind of need to go through an apprenticeship program, right? To, in exchange for us to gain a good position in the society. So Leo, let's say the third decan of Leo is more already about the meaning to life and kind of getting ready for anything which is very much about the harsh life. So Leo, in my opinion, does talk about the death and the change. And if you really think about it, the other fixed signs, the other one is Scorpio, right? So Leo is going to contain a little bit of a scorpionic energy within itself. which is very much about the transformation. And of course, it's going to entail some of the Aquarian energy also, which is very much about the radical changes we have to make in our life. So the suns come out daytime, but it becomes the night energy at one point, where the sun becomes a little bit depressed because I want to be shining, I want to be out there. So when the sun comes out, it lights up the world and it becomes busy. Beaches are full of people, people become visible, they're going to take off their clothes and they're going to sunbathe. And this is exactly what the sun or the Leo energy represents in our chart. So the part of the chart where Leo is contained is really much about what area of life you want to be having fun. So Leo rules over holiday, entertainment, fun, fame, being on the stage, taking the spotlight, ways to get into the spotlight, what you can do to do that. By the way, this video is not just about Mercury transiting the sign of Leo, but this is very much about a Mercury profile in the sign of Leo as well. Now, Leo energy is actually all about creativity also. Why is that? Because there's the third from the third. So Leo rules, or typically the fifth house, which is Leo associated with rules over books or any type of creative endeavor, like writing poems or writing scripts and so forth. But of course, the Leo energy talks about children as well, because imagine that the children are the giver of life. So you pass on your life onto another person who is going to create something again. And Leo is all about vitality. Sun gives us the light. If there was no sun on the sky, basically we would be dead. Now, and then let's just have a look at what Mercury could really indicate in that Leo. So, for instance, Mercury in Leo, when I speak, I want people to recognize me because Mercury is speaking and Leo is all about recognition. It wants stardom. So Mercury's qualities are very much embraced and lightened up in the sign of Leo. Leo is politics, Mercury is talk. So these people like talking about politics, or when they speak, they have got the natural ability to draw people in. And then they end up becoming the storyteller, and everyone is just kind of mesmerized by the way they speak and so on. So they could be brilliant script writers, poets, or novelists also, because these are all about expressing ideas and opinions. Leo is, as I said, about the limelight. So they could be brilliant actors, PR agents, because they believe actually in something they sell. Mercury is the merchandiser, the seller, the agent, and Leo is something to do with a fun product. So they could be very good at selling holidays, for instance. But also Mercury is something to do with handy stuff. So anything handmade. And Leo is, for instance, sport activities. So this person can be very good at handball, volleyball, any type of ball-related games, really, right? Because Leo is a fire sign. So it's all about future-forward thinking. So with Mercury being here is a brilliant time to create a vision for the future. Or at least when Mercury enters the sign of Leo, we might start thinking about our future a lot more, and we getting inspired, fire, to become someone in this world and then gain some type of success. Remember that the fire signs, the flame is always going upwards. So that kind of represents the hierarchy ladder, right? And the fire is something which actually purifies. So Mercury's thinking process, after being in the sign of Cancer for a short period of time, it becomes purified. It's going to be less kind of depressive and oh, I want to stay at home type of feeling. It's going to get wild and bold a little bit, a lot more courageous and a lot more outgoing. And it wants to be surrounded by people as well. Yes, Leo is all about drama. So yes, our way of thinking, our thought process, or even our communication can be kind of embedded with loads of dramatic flares, but also Mercury becomes very optimistic here. So it has got kind of a fired up mental energy. And fire is something which is related to divine wisdom. So as I said, it's always moving upwards. So Mercury is just thinking about how I can climb the social ladder and how I can reach my fullest potential, right? Mercury here loves looking at the more meaningful things and kind of like a little bit selfish as well. So it does want to meet people they can benefit from, or at least wanting to be inspired by others. So definitely the brain is very inspired. It wants to be in contact with interesting and fun people. When we speak about the communication style, yes, Mercury here is a lot louder, it's dramatic, it's bold. Actually, think about like Sofia Vergara. If you remember her from the Modern Family, she's like that, like, yes, yes, you know, she's got the hand movements, which is very Mercurian and kind of a loud voice. And when she speaks, everyone actually listens to her. So these people love getting listened to. They are very good storytellers. They bond with others by entertaining them. They might actually like speaking about things they are proud of, because Leo rules over your pride. They like being praised and admired, but actually not necessarily reluctant to give praise or a positive feedback to others as well. And sometimes just the smallest thing they have to kind of learn to notice, like, oh, you bought a new pair of shoes, or you've got a new pair of eyelashes, and how much it suits you. And actually it can really light people up with these little confidence. So Mercury in Leo definitely has got a very strong business mind. So how to make money, what type of business transactions to actually accomplish can be a very central topic in the next 4 weeks. Think about it this way. Mercury is the communication, and Leo is the kingdom. So this is the king of communication, basically. So, and they use charm and funniness, so they could be great comedists, right? Mercury is a management type of person, and Leo is the leadership quality. So these people are very good leaders. They want to be looking after that kingdom. And they could be brilliant motivation speakers. They know how to draw other people in. They also should know that they shouldn't be doing things on their own. They actually need an assistant. And that's a little bit of a downfall when it comes to Mercury and Leo. Mercury loves details. While my connection here is not the greatest in Sozopol, but I just wanted to make a very quick video and kind of event. So what I was saying is that a little bit of a downfall of having Mercury in Leo is that Mercury loves details. And Leo is not necessarily the greatest at it, because it's a future forward type of energy, right? So it just wants a big picture. So therefore, we need an assistant here in place. We might just need to text our PR, you know, can you make a note of that? And stuff like that. And I tend to do that, like I don't have Mercury in Leo, but I tend to actually, but my Mercury is on Leo degree actually. But I like texting to my admin, you know, make a note of that, because, you know, I don't want to forget it and so forth. And Mercury actually respect the rules also, right? So Mercury in Leo needs to learn to respect the rules. Of course, Leo is a fixed sign. So when it comes to the mindset, it could be a little bit hard for Mercury to change the belief. But once because Leo is all about loyalty. So they could be loyal to their opinions. They could be loyal to their neighbors. They could be loyal to their siblings. So for me, Mercury in Leo is kind of like a cheerleader type of energy, right? The mind really comes alive. We can have the best thoughts. We can become very inspired when Mercury is here. But yeah, a little struggle to see the details or to focus on the bigger picture. Mercury here wants to focus on an original idea. It is interested in fresh, new way of thinking, and it just gives birth, Leo, to fantastic ideas, Mercury. Why I like Mercury in Leo is because it's kind of like courageous, right? So it focuses on the positives. And you know, unless there are some very depressive other planetary energies attacking Mercury, this is someone who can achieve anything. So their mentality is all about success. Another negative side of this is that Mercury here can be thinking a lot about himself. They don't have the greatest memory, so when it comes to filing away tax rebates or paying bills on time, they might forget about it. Also, another reason why they need an assistant. Remember, Leo is all about delegation. So I'm the king of the jungle, and female lions are bringing the food to me. So it's not necessarily about working hard, it's working smart. And Mercury needs to be able to think about how I can obtain that in this incarnation, okay? Another little danger is that the ego can be wrapped up with the mind. So there is an egotistical type of behavior here, which can be a little bit of a danger. Yes, of course, Mercury rules over books. So this is something where imagine that Mercury is sitting on the beach reading. However, it's not necessarily the smartest position for Mercury, to be frank. It's more about gaining experiences. But what they are very good at naturally is to tailor their messages to their audience and to kind of get them engaged in the conversation. So they could be brilliant at marketing, because marketing is all about tossing ideas around and then picking the best one. Actually, Mercury and Leo, I feel like they are very good at taking criticism as well, especially if they look up to that person who gives them that criticism. Mercury rules over your voice. So here it's easier to actually learn how to speak up for ourselves, and we can have that authoritative voice as well. So Mercury in Leo transit overall is all about speaking up about issues, what matters us significantly. But it also says that we need to start thinking about our future, how we're going to move forward, and how we are going to be creating a new life for ourselves. Because other planetary energies are, you know, telling us that it's time to start fresh, and we need to be, let's say, self-employed and all those type of things. So I hope this video helps you to understand Mercury in the sign of Leo. So if you did, give me a thumb up and then press like, ring the notification bell, share the video, all those type of things. And if you would like to have a reading with me or Sweaty, then just go on the website and then we can help you out, whatever topic you have. So take care of yourself and have a blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.